Is this the policy that you've had today, that you sit there and think, yes, this has cracked it, this is going to make sure that everyone can get on the housing ladder if they want to?
No, I think it's a disaster, because between the time that Right to Buy was first introduced by Margaret Thatcher and today, house prices have gone up by 1,000%. So it's clearly not helping people get on the property ladder. You know, I'm somebody that can't afford to buy a house, and I'm a director of an organisation, and I can't afford to buy a house on my salary. It's a crazy state of events. And
is that London or outside? In
London, but also outside now as well. You know, I come from North Wales, and house prices are going up by 20% every year where I come from. So, you know, families there are rapidly getting priced out of the housing market because it's all going to second homes now in that particular part of the country. And, you know, the other thing that I think is really striking about Right to Buy is that 4 in 10 Right to Buy properties are now owned by private landlords. So actually they're not helping people get on the housing market. They're just helping landlords buy houses cheaply that they rent out to people at often extortionate rates. So I don't think that it's a good policy. I actually think that this is because Boris Johnson's had such a difficult week. I think, you know, because he's had this vote of no confidence that he you know, the party does have confidence in him, but it didn't go very well, you know. And I think now he's trying to sort of appeal to his party base and show that he's pulling a rabbit out of a hat, if you like. And I think he's chosen a pretty disastrous way to do that. And I think it'll be people, especially young people, that will suffer if this policy
But let me
goes
just
ahead.
ask you this, though, because you just said then that some of these houses, I think you said 4 in 10 or whatever, they're owned now by private landlords. So what you're saying is that this scheme is basically going to help private landlords get more and more houses. But it's not, is it? This scheme is going to help individuals buy their home. If those individuals then choose to sell that house on to a private landlord, that's not the government's fault.
The government has said that this policy will help more people get on the property ladder. And what I'm saying is, when actually what's happening is nearly half of those properties are being sold to landlords who then charge such extortionate rates that people can't save for a deposit, then that clearly doesn't help. It might help those individuals who want to buy their council housing. But, you know, as you mentioned before, we have a serious housing crisis in this country, and this will definitely make it worse and not better. And I think actually having Right to Buy in the first place has actually contributed to the situation where we are now. It's like trying to put out fire with more fire.